Namassarvebhyah. So today we have come together for the Subhāṣitam session, which is a series that Devabhāṣā Sanskrit Society is conducting currently. So today's session is in collaboration with Pichavaram House. Especially, I would like to thank the web admin and deputy secretary of Pichavaram House, that is Kamakshi and Roop Katha respectively. I would also like to thank the secretary of Sanskrit Society, Madhuri, and the deputy secretary, Sachit, for letting me conduct this session. They are not present here today due to some unavoidable reasons, but they are the ones who really helped me a lot. So before we begin, we'll have a short prayer. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Salutations to Devi Saraswati, who is the giver of boons and fulfiller of wishes. O Devi, when I begin my studies, please bestow on me the capacity of right understanding always. So, as my friend Arubi here explains, what exactly is a Subhashita? It is the Sanskrit's answer to haiku. Basically, it is a literary format consisting of concise two to four verses that impart a lesson, truth, fact, or a riddle. Subhashitam, as the Apte Sanskrit Hindi dictionary describes it, is literally Subhashitam, well spoken, Niti Vakya, Sukti, Samupayukta Kathana. It is in the Napumsak which we'll know more about. So, as we move on to the next slide, we see that Subhashitam literally refers to just one verse, whereas two verses are called Subhashite, whereas multiple such verses, anything that is more than two, is called Subhashitani. So, enough with the grammar portion. Now we'll start with the recitations. Can we move to the, yeah, thank you. So, is there anyone who would like to read this, especially the ones who had joined our session before? Asmit, would you like to? Yeah, sure. Dipanshu.
सदृशं त्रिषु लिङ्गेषु सर्वासु च विभक्तिषु वचनेषु च सर्वेषु यन्न वेत्ति तदव्ययम्.
Correct. So, this Subhashitam or verse literally defines something that is called an avyaya. Sadrishan trishu lingeshu sarvasu cha vibhaktishu vachaneshu cha sarveshu yanna vyeti tadavyayam. So it answers the question, kim asti avyayam? An avyaya is defined as that word which remains same across all three genders, all cases and numbers. That which does not change is an avyaya. So basically, these are the easiest words that you can learn in Sanskrit. You can directly map them to their meanings. As we move on to the next slide, we'll see a few of them. These are in Hindi, but I'll also translate them into English. Yatra is jaha or where. Tatra is waha or there. Cha is or and. Na is nahi or no or negation, not. Api refers to also or bhi, in addition to. Just like Subhashitam is in singular and Subhashitani is plural, the Avayam is singular and Avayani is plural. Now I'd like someone to read.
Can I? Like, I'll try once.
Sure, sure.
दर्शने स्पर्शने वापि श्रवणे भाषणेऽपि वा यत्र द्रव्यत्यन्तरङ्गं सस्नेह इति कथ्यते.
Correct. So, Arubi, would you like to read? Like, following me, that is.
Yeah, actually, I was going to request that only. I'll follow you as you read along.
It's okay. Darshane,
Darshane,
Sparshane,
Sparshane,
Vapi,
Vapi,
Darshane sparshane vapi.
Darshane sparshane vapi.
Shravane
Shravane
bhashanepi
bhashanepi
va.
va.
Darshane sparshane vapi. Shravane bhashanepi va.
दर्शने स्पर्शने वापि श्रवणे भाषणे वा.
Correct. The S like symbol which you see in middle of ne and p, that is called an avagraha. It just exists there. It has no real usage when you pronounce things. It just shows
Okay.
that there was an a there, and due to some sandhi, that a has now been deleted or deleted. An elision has taken place. So
Okay. Okay.
moving on to the next line, you can see that Dravati Antarangam has been written separately. You can pronounce it like that. So Yatra
ठीक है.
Dravati
यत्र द्रवति
Antarangam
अंतरंगम
Sasneha
सस्नेह
iti kathyate.
इति कथ्यते.
Yatra Dravati Antarangam Sasneha iti kathyate.
यत्र द्रवति अंतरंगम सस्नेह इति कथ्यते.
Now the complete verse. Darshane sparshane vapi shravane bhashane piva yatra dravati antarangam sasneha iti kathyate.
दर्शने स्पर्शने वापि श्रवणे भाषणे वा. यत्र यत्र द्रवति अंतरंगम स स्नेह इति कथ्यते.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Thank
Or
you.
as it
All
is
due
said
to
in
you.
Sanskrit, samyak asti. So this verse kind of defines what is love or what is affection. If seeing or touching somebody, listening to or speaking with someone touches your heart, then that is what you call love or affection or sneha. Anyone else who would like to read? Yes, Asmit.
दर्शने स्पर्शने वापि श्रवणे भाषणेऽपि वा यत्र द्रवति अन्तरङ्गं सा स्नेह इति कथ्यते.
Yes, this is absolutely correct. One thing that I would like to point out, just for the sake of knowledge, is that you see that there is something da like thing after antarangam. That is not da. Whenever there is a dot just next to da, not below, but just next to da, it is ang. Okay. In Hindi, normally you will not see anga used, but it is replaced by anuswara in words like ranga, sanga, then there is anka. In all of these words, this anga has to be there. But uh, due to saralikarana or the simplification, that anga has been now transformed to anuswara completely in Hindi. But in Sanskrit, it is still used. Now, anyone else who would like to practice recitation? Even if you make mistakes, there is no problem. I have a problem in pronouncing the sounds, and na and na difference is also not very clear for me. So if you have any similar problems, recitation is the way of improvement. Rohit, followed by Virendra.
दर्शने स्पर्शने वापि श्रवणे भाषणेऽपि वा यत्र द्वन्द्व द्वन्द्व
Dravati,
द्रव
like
द्रावति
antarangam
अन्तरङ्गं स स्नेह येति
iti kathyate.
इति कथ्यते.
Correct.
Thank you.
So Virendra, now your turn.
दर्शने स्पर्शने वा अपि श्रवणे भाषणे अपि वा यत्र द्रवति अन्तरङ्गं स स्नेह इति कथ्यते.
Yes. Also, this is absolutely perfect. Just one thing that you might have noticed, not for Virendra but for others, that he said "bhasha ne api." Now, according to some scholars, it is completely fine to pronounce the avagraha as a. Now, when I say some scholars, I'm not taking any sides. I'm just saying what they say. The only side I want to take is to tell you everything what there is. So it is also correct. Yes, Abhijit, I think you're next.
दर्शने स्पर्शने वापि श्रवणे भाषानेऽपि वा यत्र द्रव्यन्तरङ्गं सस्नेहे इति कथ्यते.
Correct. It is sneha, not snehe. Would you like to try again?
Yeah, so
Sure.
दर्शने स्पर्शने वापि श्रवणे भाषानेऽपि वा यत्र द्रव्यन्तरङ्गं सस्नेहे इति कथ्यते.
Correct. 100% correct. When you want to actually say Dravatya Antarangam, then you can actually break it into Dravati plus Antarangam. That way it is easier for the beginners. Yes. Who would like to read this one? Yes, Asmit.
तेषु जायते शूर सहेषु च पंडितः वक्ता दशसहस्रेषु दाता भवति वानवा.
Correct. Your pronunciation is correct. Just that it is lack of oversight from my side. It should have been Shuraha or Shuras, but I think I missed that. Visarga. Kamakshi, the web admin of Pichavaram, please.
शतेषु जायते शूरः सहस्रेषु च पंडितः वक्ते दशसहस्रेषु दाता भवति वानवा.
Very nice. Ananya.
शतेषु जायते शूरा सहस्रेषु च पण्डितः वक्ता दशसहस्रेषु दाता भवति मानवा.
That was very nice. Now, before Abhijit recites, I'll tell the meaning. Among 100 persons, only one is truly brave. Among thousands of them, only one may be a sage. A skilled orator is to be found only among the 10,000s. A charitable person or a data, though may rarely exist or sometimes may not exist at all. So this tells us the value of people who have these certain qualities. Abhijit, you can recite now.
शतेषु जायते सुरः सहस्रेषु च पंडितः वक्ता दशसहस्रेषु दाता भवति वानवा.
Yeah. Two small corrections. Rest of it was perfect. Shuraha, not Shura. Shura would be Haraswa Ukara. But Shura, there is, what do you call it? Dirgha Ukara. Secondly, Bhavati, not Bhavti. Like there has to be an after Va. Would you like to try again?
शतेषु जायते सुरः राइट
Shuraha.
सुरः सुरः
Yeah.
शतेषु जायते सुरः सहस्रेषु च पंडितः वक्ता दशसहस्रेषु दाता भवति वानवा.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Okay, Soumyatam. Yeah.
शतेषु
Please go
जायते
ahead.
शूर सहस्रेषु च पंडित वक्ता दशसहस्रेषु दाता भवति वानव.
Correct. Just one thing that I missed. Shuraha, there is a visarga after Shura. Now, we'll go back 2 slides and see something. So, you can see these 3 words, cha, na, and api. Cha means and, na means no or negation not, api means also. We should move on to the next 2 verses and try finding these words. Can you see any of them here? They might be hidden due to sandhi, but surely one of them is there.
यत्र
Yatra. Yeah, yatra is there. What does yatra mean?
जहाँ
Correct. Yatra means jahan. Anything else?
Api.
Api. Where exactly is api? Can you point it out?
Bhashanepi, and I think so. Vapi. I'm not sure
Correct.
whether I'm
Both are
pronouncing
correct.
Vapi.
Both are correct. Bhashane piva. So also in speech. Then vapi. Or in. Or also. It is written or also. Va means or. It has multiple meanings, but the meaning here is or English or. And api, as I already mentioned, also or also, that is. Sateshu jayate shuraha. So this one. Can you point any of these out?
Cho,
Yes,
No.
no, and cho.
yes, na and cha. Anything else that you guys can see? Like not from that list, but something I just explained.
Saha, saha.
Saha. Saha is not an aware, but saha means he. So va na va is the aware, which in this context too means or, optional, or, that is.
Uh,
Yes, yes,
I
Dipanshu.
have one question. Like,
Yes.
is iti also an object?
Iti is an aware, I think. Like I have never seen any other form of iti. Iti means thus or quote unquote.
Okay.
The word api has 7 different meanings. If you go to Nilesh Bodas's channel, there's a specific video, api shabdasya sapta arthaha. But you'll see that the word also is the one that is most commonly used. Sometimes it is used to ask a question, sometimes it is used for different purposes, but we'll not go into the detail. We'll now move on to the Saptami Vibhakti. What is the Saptami Vibhakti? What is the locative case? Saptami Vibhakti literally means inside something or on something. May or upar, uske, uspe, more like, not uske upar, but uspe. Rame literally means Ramame. Yeah, Adhikarana Karaka. Vrikshe, Peda me, or in the Vriksha. Nagare, Nagara me, or Nagar, in the Nagara, in the city. The first 3 words are in singular, whereas the rest of the 2 are in plural. Same Saptami Vibhakti. Janeshu, in the people. Logo me. Karyeshu. Sorry, there has been some typographical error. That Karyeshu, the ra has kind of invaded the space of the people. So kind of really true. People are now kind of too much overburdened with the work. Even in this PPT, the work in the work the people have been. Anyways, too much philosophy and too less of actual saying. Karyeshu, in the works, kamo me. Now we'll go back and see if we can identify any of these words in the verses. Can you see any of these? And can you try guessing the meaning?
Sparshani, darshani.
Sparshane, correct?
Mm, Darshane, Sparshane, Shravane,
Okay, wait.
Bhashane.
Okay, you mentioned uh, anything else that you guys notice?
कथ्यते
Dravat,
Uh,
Dravadyantanangam.
yeah, that is a bit different. Dravityantarangam. Uh, Kathyate is not in the Saptami Vibhakti. It is a verb. It is a Kriya Padam, not a Nama Padam. Like Nama Padam is something literally it means name related words. Kriya Padam literally means action related words. So a Nama Padam usually has a Vibhakti, whereas this Kriya Padam usually has a what do you call
Lakar.
it? Lakara.
Lakar.
Correct. Correct. So Kathyate is very much in the lat lakara. Anyways, that is not the thing that we are discussing right now. Darshane. Can anyone tell the meaning of the word darshane?
To
To
see.
By
see,
seeing,
Watch.
In seeing, yes. देखने में. स्पर्शने.
छूने में,
सुनने में.
To
In listening. Sorry, in touching. Or then there is shravane.
सुनने में,
भाषणे.
बोलने में,
बोलने में or in conversing. Correct. So there are some examples here as well. Can you guys notice?
Jayate.
Shateshu.
Jayate.
दशसहस्रेषु and
Sahasreshu.
सहस्रेषु,
Yeah. So sahasreshu in thousands. Dasha sahasreshu in
10,000.
10,000. Sorry.
10,000.
And in 10,000s, not in 10,000. Like it is plural of something plural. Janeshu of the people, not of one person. Similarly, Jayate is not one because Jayate, just like Kathayate, is Kriya Padam. Shateshu, among 100. That is in 100. Among hundreds, sorry. So now you can kind of read the whole verse. Try reading the whole verse like silently and see if you can get the meaning of how many words. Yeah, now we'll move on to the next few verses. Yeah, who would like to read these? Rendra.
यस्य नास्ति स्वयं प्रज्ञा शास्त्रं तस्य करोति किं लोचनाभ्यां विहीनस्य दर्पणः किं करिष्यति.
Correct. 100% correct. So after Viren there is Kamakshi. You can try.
यस्य नास्ति स्वयं प्रज्ञा शास्त्रं तस्य करोति किं लोचनाभ्यां विहीनस्य दर्पणः किं करिष्यति.
Correct. 100% correct. So what does Jayate mean? We'll come to that. So here we can see that North Indians would mostly pronounce it Pragya, like I do. But Ananya, how do South Indians normally pronounce it?
Like
Gna.
Gna,
Can you pronounce the whole word?
Prajna.
Yeah. Now, actually, the correct pronunciation is maybe neither, or maybe both, or maybe something else. But this is how it goes. The spelling of pragya or pragnya is, or the word gya itself. I'll type it in the chat box. If you any of you can somehow understand what it means, good for you. If you cannot, just forget about it. In case you do not know how to pronounce it, +1 ekadhikam. I also do not know how to pronounce it correctly. I typically pronounce it Gya, but I sometimes also go with the Gnya pronunciation. Anyways, so the next person in line is, I think, Soumya Tambi, right?
Yes, yes. यस्य नास्ति स्वयं प्रज्ञा शास्त्रं तस्य करोति किं लोचानाभ्यां विहीनस्य दर्शनं किं करिष्यति.
Okay. Now I would like someone to tell the meaning. Like you can read out the meaning, that is, just like you recite the verse. Anyone who would like to volunteer? Yes, Rohit.
This shloka poses two rhetorical questions. What will the Shastra do for him who has no sense of his own? Second, what will a mirror do for him who has lost his eyes?
So as already there is deep rhetorical, philosophical, and somewhat a commonsensical questioning here. So, anyone else who wants to
Uh,
recite this? Yes, please tell if you want to say something.
यस्य नास्ति स्वयं प्रज्ञा शास्त्रं तस्य करोति किं लोचनाभ्यां विहीनस्य दर्पणः किं करिष्यति.
That is absolutely fantastic. Like, really good. There's a word called apratima in Sanskrit. This is what kind of describes it.
I think
Yes,
it is
Aniket.
also in Marathi.
Pardon?
I think this word is also in Marathi.
This word as in the gya thing.
Apratim, the word.
Oh,
I
apratima.
think it
Apratima
is
is
also
also
in.
in Hindi, but and also in my native language, which is Maithil or Maithili, whichever you guys are more familiar with. Anyone else who wants to recite?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
यस्य नास्ति स्वयं प्रज्ञा शास्त्रं तस्य करोति किं लोचनाभ्यां विहीनस्य दर्पणः किं करिष्यति.
Correct. Now the next person would be Asmit.
यस्य नास्ति स्वयं प्रज्ञा शास्त्रं तस्य करोति किं लोचनाभ्यां विहीनस्य दर्पणः किं करिष्यति.
Okay, that is correct. 100%. I think we can move on to the next slide now. If is there anyone who would like to recite this? This one is easy, I think. Okay, I think almost everyone has done. Arubi, you have been silent for a long time. Would you like to?
यस्य नास्ति स्वयं प्रज्ञा शास्त्रं तस्य करोति किं लोचनाभ्यां विहीनस्य दर्पणः किं करिष्यति.
That is very nice. We'll move on to the next verse now. This is a very famous Subhāṣita, one of the first ones that I learned. And this was also there in Professor Anuradha Chaudhary's NPTEL course, which is, by the way, approved by ITM for credit transfer at the BS level. So if you want to, you can see that. Who would like to recite? Yep, we have so many people. Ananya, please go ahead.
हस्तस्य भूषणं दानं सत्यं कंठस्य भूषणं श्रोत्रस्य भूषणं शास्त्रं भूषणैः किं प्रयोजनम्.
Very fantastic, very nice, superb. Who would like to tell the meaning now before we move on with further recitations? So
Yes,
I
I
think,
can.
yeah, sure.
Yes, sir. Main ornament of hand is dam, and for throat is truth, and uh, for ears is shastra. After that,
It is written there. You can like read it out.
yes, hastasya bhushanam danam satyam kanthasya bhushanam श्रोतस्य भूषणम शास्त्रम भूषणे की प्रयोजनम.
Correct. So the ornament of the hand is charity. The ornament of the throat is truth. The ornament of the ear is the hearing of the Shastra. Then what is the use of jewelry? Okay. So who would like to recite next? Yes, Asmit.
हस्तस्य भूषणं दानं सत्यं कंठस्य भूषणं श्रोत्रस्य भूषणं शास्त्रं भूषणैः किं प्रयोजनम्.
Nice. Very nice. I think we'll move on to the next slide. There's some more information there. Or that is what I think. Yes. Now we saw the seventh, Saptami. Now we'll see the sixth, Shashti, or as our Vachasnevi bros would like to say khashti. You might have heard both of these. Some of you might have, others might not have. This is the possessive case. Now, what is possessive? Possessive means apostrophe s. When you add to a word, it becomes possessive. Ramasya, Ramaka, Rams, of Rama. Vrikshasya, Pedaka, of the Vriksha. Yeah, Sambandhakaraka, correct. Tasya, uska, his. Etasya, iska, also means his, but near. Yasya, jiska, whose not as in the question whose, but the uh, he whose, you can get the relative pronoun.
It can be
Kasya,
whomever.
yeah, uh, it can be, yes. Kasya, kiska. This also means whose, but this is for the question. Whose is it? Kiska hai? Kasya asti? We'll move back now to the verses and see if we can spot.
हस्तस्य कंठस्य श्रोतस्य.
Yes. Anyone would like to tell the meaning?
हाथ का कंठ का और कान का.
Anyone would like to say the meaning in English other than our friend Abhijit? Yes, Asmit.
Of hand, of throat, of ear.
Okay, correct. We'll move back to the previous verse now. Yes, Kamakshi.
Hands.
Like it
Yeah,
is
I
in
know
No,
the,
the
like
meaning
she
is
meant
hands with an
hand
apostrophe.
apostrophe S. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, hands. Obviously. Um, yes, it means hands, throats, or ears. We'll
No,
move
it
back
is
to the,
not like that. It is correct either. The
like,
ornament of the hand is charity.
yeah, you're correct. I mean, shrotrasya, for example, what I meant to say is EAR apostrophe S. Same meaning. That is what I wanted to say. Can you notice a few words here? Especially those who are not speaking much.
Vihinasya.
Venusya, correct. Yes, Dipangshu?
Hasya, yasya,
Yes, tasya and yasya. So, what do these words mean though? Can anyone tell the meaning as well?
tasya means his,
Correct.
and
Yasya means
yas,
iska.
Okay.
uh,
And what does vihinasya mean? Like not lochana bhyam vihinasya. Vihinasya. What does vihinasya alone mean?
Lack of
Yeah. He who has the lack of something.
eyes.
Yeah, eyes in this case, but it could have been anything. If instead of lochana bhyam, it was, let us say, aksha bhyam.
Hands.
Yeah, hands, hasta bhyam. Then it would have been of the hands, lack of hands, or lack of eyes. It is already lack of eyes. Aksha bhyam and lochana bhyam are literally paryayavati. So we'll now move to the next verses. Who would like to read this? Ananya followed by Asmit.
लौकिकानां हि साधूनाम् अर्थं वागनुवर्तते ऋषीणां पुनराद्यानां वाचम् अर्थोऽनुधावति.
Fantastic. Now Asmit.
लौकिकानां हि साधूनाम् अर्थं वाग्नुवर्तते ऋषीणां पुनराद्यानां वाचम् अर्थोऽनुधावति.
Very nice. I would also like to read once. I forgot that I did not read once. लौकिकानां हि साधूनाम् अर्थं वागनुवर्तते ऋषीणां पुनराद्यानां Vacham arthonudhavati. I made one mistake, so I'll recite again. लौकिकानां हि साधूनाम् अर्थं वागनुवर्तते ऋषीणां पुनराद्यानां वाचम् अर्थोऽनुधावति. What it means is that ordinary poets and experts describe the nature of objects as they perceive it, whereas the speech of rishis is so powerful that it itself manifests the objects perceived by everyone else throughout the universe. That is, the universe manifests from the universal or eternal words of the rishis in the Vedas, and specific events within time manifest when willed and spoken by the rishis, as in the instances of them granting boons. So this ponders upon the Hindu theology, which mentions how the Vedas are supreme authority. Yes, who would like to recite this? Yes, Virendra.
लौकिकानां हि साधूनाम् अर्थं वागनुवर्तते ऋषीणां पुनराध्यानां वाचम् अर्थो अनुधावति.
Correct. So I think this is the part of I'll check and I'll let you know this is a part of which exact literature. Yes. Back to our, I think Abhijit, would you like to recite?
लौकिकानां हि साधूनाम् अर्थं वाग्नुवर्तते ऋषीणां पुनर्राधानां वाचम् अर्थोऽनुधावति.
Yeah. Punaradhyanam. Like there are certain conjunctions in Sanskrit which are not usually seen in the, like I usually write the and then I put a halanta and then I write ya. Similarly, sadrishan trishulingeshu, the dri was very confusing there. I usually write the and rikara, not in that way. So we'll see the shashti or khashti vibhakti again. I'll pronounce it shashti only, or the possessive case. But for the plural now, jana naam, logo ka, janasya would meant of a person, ek पुरुष का एक जन का, but jana naam means of multiple people, not one, not two, but of multiple people. vrikshanam, पेड़ों का, of the trees. narinam, of the women. naranam, of the men. gurunam, of the what do you call it, of the teachers. senanam, of the armies. So now we'll go back to the previous slide and see. Can you identify the words? Yes, please go ahead. Asmit, Abhijit and Virendra.
लौकिकानां साधूनां
Correct.
ऋषीणां पुनर्राधानां.
Yeah, Punaradhyanam. So can someone say the meanings?
of of the world, of the universe.
Okay. I'll tell the meaning this time, okay?
Okay, okay,
Laukika
okay.
Nam. The word Laukika means of the people, you can say. Or Laukika also refers to the ordinary. There are two different concepts, Vaidika and Laukika. So Laukika refers to the ordinary, anything that is not divine, or anything that is, it may be divine, but it is ordinary. Laukika Nam, of the ordinary. Sadhu Nam. This means of the good people. Rishi Nam means of the rishis. Punaradhya Nam. Now I'll have to read myself to exactly know the meaning, because I think it is a compound of the old rishis, that is. It refers to the rishis of the Vaidika times. Punaradhya Nam, of the old times.
I just wanted to ask this. Lokikana, see,
Yeah.
in Malayalam, I mean my language,
Yeah.
Laukigam means people who are into materialistic things,
Yes.
pleasures like that. So here ordinary people means, but ordinary poets, right?
Yeah, ordinary poets. So Laukika also has this meaning in Hindi as well. Those who are well versed with the old Hindi literature would know. Laukika means anyone who is pursuing worldly pursuits, who is involved in the loka, you can say.
Yes. Correct,
Laukika,
correct, correct,
involved in the loka.
correct. So here the differentiation is like who are unaware and who are aware of that end or the
Yeah,
purpose of
more
Sanatana Dharma.
like here the this is more than like normally the ones we picked in the previous ones was more connected with some philosophy, some truth of day-to-day life, but this one is more connected with theology. This one is more like it says that those who are ordinary have to describe things.
Yes.
It
The,
is
the
said that gods have avlokik shaktiyan.
Yeah, it is that, but instead of gods it mentions the rishis, that
Oh,
they are the ones who when they describe things those things come into existence instead of the other way around.
Okay.
that is said they have avlokik shakti.
Yeah, so punaradhyanam, that is rishinam punaradhyanam of the old rishis. So as some of you guys would know, the Sanskrit Society aims at a lot of things, some of which include promotion of Sanskrit literature, grammar, and so on. The other aspect includes promotion of all the theologies, philosophies, and other such traditions that have emerged with Sanskrit. This includes traditions like the Bhakti tradition, Vedanta tradition. It also includes the various sampradayas like the Shaivas, the Shaktas, that includes me, that is, the Vaishnavas, and so on, the Smartas. And it also aims to promote other Indian religions like Buddhism, Jainism, and so on. So, this particular verse I have included, kind of, because one of the guys said that he never knew that I am a Shakta. So, this is from the Kshama Prarthana that we do after our worship to ask for forgiveness from the Devi for anything that we did improperly. So I would like Arubhi to recite this one. She recites it beautifully.
Okay, thank you. I'll try my best. Okay. आवाहनं न जानामि विसर्जनं पूजां चैव न जानामि क्षमस्व परमेश्वरी.
Can you also tell the meaning?
Yes. I neither know the right method of invocation nor the right way of conclusion. I do not even know the correct rituals of worship. Forgive me, the Goddess Supreme, the direct manifestation of Satchidananda.
Okay. With this, we move on to the next slide. Shubhanaktam Tubhyam. Good night.